So here's tip 5,143,785,018. And that's alright, so all jokes aside, there may actually be 6 billion ways to think about approaching a solo. This may seem obvious, but the way that you think is going to change the way your solo sounds. Let's take a closer look and I'll show you what I mean. So this backing track is going back and forth between C minor 7 and F7, giving us a very C Dorian sound. If that means nothing to you, or you haven't spent much time practicing your Dorian scale, that's okay. I'm going to show you here in a second why you don't even need to know that to start soloing. So Dorian is the second mode based off of the major scale, and C is the second note in the B flat major scale. So since C Dorian is based off of the B flat major scale, what if I take a solo over this chord progression thinking only of B flat major? So B flat major scale. Let's take a listen and hear how a solo sounds when I'm only thinking of B flat. Since I was thinking of B flat major while soloing there, it would have sounded completely different if I was thinking a different way, like C Dorian. That's because the patterns and shapes that I know in B flat are different than the ones that I know in any other scale, and that's going to produce a different sound. For our next example, I know that G minor is the relative minor of B flat major, and all that means is that G minor has the same notes as B flat major. Now they're in a different order, but they contain the same exact notes. So I'm going to take another solo here. This time I will just be thinking of G minor. Even though the notes are the same, the solo will be different. And that is because the patterns and shapes that I know in a minor scale are different, of course, than in a major scale. And that will produce a different sound. Alright. How about I take a solo actually using the C Dorian scale? I know I may sound like a broken record now, but even though those scales contain the same notes, the patterns and shapes are different. And each time it will produce a different solo than it would if I was thinking a different way. For our last example, I'm going to combine everything that we've talked about. So this next solo, I'll be thinking C Dorian, and I'll also be thinking B flat major, and I'll also be thinking of G minor. So let's take a listen, see how that sounds. All of those solos were a direct result of the way that I was thinking. Those solos would not have existed if I was thinking a different way. I appreciate everyone taking the time to watch this. I hope that it helped open your musical ear and help you think just a little bit differently.